Agents make mistakes all the time. I was a real estate sales agent for over 16 years and I made tons of mistakes. Mistakes that if I could have avoided, I would have saved a lot of time and made a whole lot more money. So I'm going to go through the top 10 mistakes that agents make all the time and give you advice on how to avoid them so you can be a way better agent, increase your productivity, and make a whole lot more money. Mistake number one, not qualifying leads properly. This goes for both buyers and sellers. For example, if a seller calls you and they're interested in a chat about selling their home, many agents just get way too excited. They book a meeting to come over to their house and they don't prepare. Having a list of questions that you can ask now so that you can best prepare for that meeting is going to set you up for success. Questions like, have you ever sold before? What was your experience like? Have you any idea what your house is worth in the market today? There's a whole range of questions that you can ask so that you can best prepare for this meeting and set yourself up to win it in the best possible way. And for a buyer calling you in, wanting to see a house, many agents again just get excited. They book a meeting to go and show the client the house. They waste an hour and a half of their time meeting the client there, showing them through, only to find out that it's the first time the buyer's ever looked at a property. They're months away from even making a purchase. They may not even be able to purchase it. They haven't even seen a broker or their bank to see whether or not they can even borrow the money. So making sure you ask qualifying questions like, have you seen any houses that you already like? Have you made offers on any property? Have you been pre-approved for finance up to a certain amount? These questions can help you to avoid situations of racing out and showing a buyer a property when they have no intention of buying it, which is just going to waste your time and waste your resources. Mistake number two, not prioritizing prospecting as the number one activity in the agent's business. An agent can get so carried away with all the tasks that are flying in all the time. They get very busy and they don't block out certain amounts of time to actually prospect. Prospecting is the process of contacting people and getting information out to the marketplace so that you can identify potential opportunities of sellers. Sellers that are about to enter the market and give their property to an agent to sell. That is the number one thing that agents need to be focusing on, because without listings, you can't sell anything. If you can't sell anything, you can't make money. So the number one thing you should be always focusing on every single day for at least a period of a few hours is doing prospecting activities. That could be reaching out to past clients, booking in appraisals with people of their homes, regardless of whether or not they're selling. And also following up any old appraisals, past sellers, past clients that you can just have a chat to and find out if there is any potential business on the way and that you could be the one to service them. Mistake number three, not focusing on past clients enough. A lot of agents are just catch and kill agents. What that means is they're just looking for the next deal here, there, just randomly everywhere. There is no better way to build your business than with strong relationships. Okay? When you sell a property, there is always a seller who can be an ongoing raving fan that can refer you more business to their friends and family. And there is a buyer who is now the new owner of the property that just sold, who will one day sell that property. And many agents just forget to keep in touch with these parties and they're just looking for more business outside of the relationships that they've already built. Those relationships are the best way to get more business in the future. By staying in touch, by just keeping the relationship alive, you can get referrals, you can resell houses, and all you've got to do is keep those lines of communication open and keep feeding these people more information. You've already got the relationship. They already know, like, and trust you. They're most likely going to do business with you again in the future. Just stay in touch. And most agents, they forget to do it and they miss out on so much future business. Mistake number 4, over-promising and under-delivering. Never do it, but agents do it all the time. I'll give you a few examples that are quite common. An agent signing up a listing and then going away on holidays for 2 weeks without telling the client. That's probably the worst thing you can do. It's, even though you got the business, you're probably going to really damage the relationship, get a terrible review, and they're going to tell all of their friends and families how awful you were because you didn't tell them this really important piece of information. Always tell the client. You may lose the business if you tell them, but a lot of the times you can save it and they'll just sell it when you get back. And the fact that you tell them, you'll get great respect. Another example is not explaining to the client how your team works. Many clients think the agent's going to do everything, every inspection, every phone call, be the person who communicates with them every time. If the client doesn't understand how your team works, that you all have different roles, and that you as the lead agent won't be doing every single inspection, that your team is here to assist in certain parts of the campaign, and then they only find out later during the campaign that this guy on your team is doing this inspection and this girl on your team is working with this client, then they might be disappointed because they thought that you were the one who did everything. So making sure that clients really understand how the whole process works and communicating with them effectively about your team and the structure and what's going to happen is very, very important, so that they don't think that they are being given a service which is less than what you said it was going to be. Mistake number 5, an agent taking too long to put on a sales associate and increasing the size of their team. I made this mistake for many years. I got to capacity, and capacity for an agent is probably running somewhere between 10 and 20 listings. And at this stage, there's just so many jobs to do. Every open home, every inspection, all the vendor management, all the prospecting, all the marketing. You have to start to build a team at some point so that you can basically increase the amount of hours of productivity that your team is doing. And many agents just don't make that step. They don't put on an associate to help them with prospecting and marketing and admin and all the other tasks that take up all of their time because they're scared of the cost. They're scared of the cost of paying an admin or a sales associate a salary and thinking that they'd rather keep that money and just do it themselves. Whereas what they're really doing is they're hindering the ability to leverage their time and their skills to bring in more business. I can tell you that when I put on a sales associate for the first time, and I didn't do it till my 4th year, which was way too late, I doubled my business within 12 months by putting on a sales associate, because it actually allowed me, as my team, not just me, to do double the amount of prospecting, which brought in double the amount of opportunities for business. Mistake number 6 is not having goals for the agent themselves or their team. It's really important to have goals. All right, something to strive for, something that you as a team can work towards to celebrate, having a goal. It's just really, really important to be working towards something. If you're not working towards something, then you don't know how good or how bad you're actually doing, you're just doing. Having a goal can also push you during slower times because you've always got that goal in mind that you want to achieve, and it can help keep you accountable at times when you may be starting to slack off, you may be feeling like you don't want to work as hard and things like that. The goal, the vision will keep you on track at all times. So having that goal and really striving to hit those goals, both personally and as a team, really, really important. Mistake number 7 is avoiding events and self-educating. I think that a lot of agents at some point when they get quite successful, they start to think that there's nothing left to learn, when you can never, ever stop learning. There's always ways that you can be better, and the market's always changing, and there's always ways that you can be better, not just as an agent, but as a person, as a leader, as a coach, as a business owner. All the best people in their own fields, whether it's people in sports, people in real estate, lawyers, accountants, whatever. The best of the best are always educating. They're always getting better. They've all got coaches. They all go to events. And I can tell you, every time that I go to an event, I pick up a couple of things. Even though I've heard a lot of stuff before, I always pick up a couple of nuggets, and then implementing those few little things into your business every time that you figure out something that you could use. Those little things that you implement every time will make massive changes to your business over a long period of time. Mistake number 8 is neglecting follow-up. This is both for sellers. For example, when agents go to an appraisal or a listing presentation and there's business that's ready to be signed up, but the client isn't ready to sign it up right now. Once the agent leaves, it's really important to follow up, possibly with a text straight after the meeting, a phone call the next morning, a phone call the following day if you haven't yet heard from the client, making sure that they know you're really keen for the business. It's okay to look keen for business. That's what clients want. On a buyer's side, making sure that if someone's come to see the property, that you have tried to call them back to get information from them about what they're looking for, whether they like that property, encouraging them to make an offer if they do like the property. So many agents don't bother doing this, and they miss out on, number one, potential offers of people that might have been sitting on the fence and may have needed a bit of push. And number two, potential sellers that looked at the property and the agent didn't bother to call them or didn't bother to ask correct questions about what they're doing with their own property or showing good customer service, so that client or potential buyer would say, that agent's really good. They follow up, they're effective, I'm going to sell my property with them. So effective follow-up is one of the biggest keys to being successful as a real estate agent. Mistake number 9 is inadequate marketing efforts. Now, this goes both for selling a property and not giving a client a really great marketing campaign for their own home. Not only is it going to reduce the amount of buyers that end up coming to the property, which will likely result in a poorer outcome from the client, but from an outsider looking in at this house campaign, a potential seller would probably think, well, I'm not going to sell my property with this agent. Their marketing is crappy. And when they see great marketing of another agent, most owners would love to have a great marketing campaign on their own home because they understand the importance of it. So agents that do great marketing on homes in the long run tend to get more listings because they're more attractive as an agent, and people, trust that they're going to do a better job for them on the sale of their home. Also, from a personal branding point of view, making sure that you are active on social media, that you're showing your professional, educational side of what you do so that people will know that you're an expert in your field, and showing a lighter side of you, family, hobbies, things like that. People want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust, and clients can get to know you through your personal brand, which will give them, make it more attractive to engage with you. And if they engage with you, then you're more likely to do business with them in the future. So personal branding these days is super important. If you're not doing it, you're missing the boat. Mistake number 10, and a super obvious one, is poor communication. Clients want to know at all times what is going on, both as a buyer and a seller. A seller wants to know every bit of feedback that has happened from buyers coming through their home. They want to know about all offers. They want to know about every step of the campaign. And there's so many easy ways you can communicate with clients. You've got text, you've got email, you've got chats. Just keep them updated, whichever way it is that works for you and your business. You just got to keep them updated all the time, because even if the desired outcome isn't reached at the end of the day for the client, as long as they know that the communication has been great the entire time, then they'll trust that you did the best job for them, and it'll likely stop any sort of negative consequences of a result not being as good as they had hoped, all right? And from a buyer's perspective, just showing great customer service, keeping them updated all the time, where their offer's at, every part of the process, that's gonna lead to a great transaction, and buyers not just thinking that you only cared about the seller, and likely down the track, when they one day sell the house that they've just bought, they will come back to you if they had a great experience. So there we have it. Those are the 10 biggest mistakes that you can avoid as a real estate agent. A lot of those mistakes I made over the years, so I tried to really dive deep into the ones that really affected me and my business. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of that, and that's gonna help you to be a better agent, be more productive, and ultimately earn more money. If you liked this content, please give me a like, drop a comment below about any of the comments that you thought were valuable to you, or any other mistakes that are very common that you know real estate agents make. I'd love to hear them so that I can improve and add those to my future videos. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.